Howdy, folks. This is the Degum, and welcome to the Skeptic Conservative Podcast, Social Distancing Edition on this Tuesday, April 28th, 2020. Yeah, it's been a while. I tried to do this live, but the YouTube studio feature, it's changed in the almost 8 years since I last uploaded something here on this channel. And apparently YouTube isn't capable of recording things anymore, and it was stuck on the loading screen for about 5 minutes. So scrap that plan. We're going to record something simple and just go with it. The thumbnail was supposed to be me holding up the classic Bill O'Reilly "We'll Do It Live" image, and oh well, this is as close to live as we can get right now. Yeah, it's been a while. This video show is mainly for the longtime audience that had been following me for a while on Blog Talk Radio, theskepticconservative.com, livestream.com, all that. I know it's been a while, and I owe you guys a little bit of an explanation, but we're going to try to cover a little bit of new content today. And yeah, in the spirit of Bill O'Reilly, we're going to do it live. But first and foremost, as everybody obviously knows, there is a worldwide crisis going on at the moment that we'll avoid specifically naming just for now until I get a handle for how YouTube, how touchy they've gotten lately. That's why we're calling this the social distancing edition of the podcast. And I'm not going to get too deep into it now because I've always struggled with announcement videos and I'm not a huge fan of them. But long story short, I decided to focus on my career and make sure my life is a little bit more stable before diving back into the show. And I kind of realized at a certain point that I wasn't putting out my best content and that I wanted to hold myself to a higher standard. So we, went on the hiatus that wound up lasting almost 8 years. And the almost last thing I did, funny enough, was the End of the World show where we were making fun of the world ending on December 21st, 2012, if I remember the date off the top of my head, where we did the crossover show with Flyover Territory. And gosh, that was a while ago. And a lot of things have changed since then, as I'm sure you're already noticing. But I'm here. I'm still pretty much the same guy. I've grown a little bit. I'm blessed enough to have a job right now that is still holding together. I'm doing something that I like a lot more than what I used to. We're not going to get into specifics too much, but things are just better, more stable, and I'm in a better place to start doing more of the things that I used to like doing again. The situation, the coronavirus pandemic, has changed a lot of things and given a lot of time to reconsider life events, goals, all that good stuff. And more than a few people have talked to me and said that they missed the show and they kind of want to hear what I think about things, and just wanted they missed my take, basically, because in a lot of fronts I've kind of stepped back from politics and engaging with people and debate. I mean, I would talk to people here and there, but as far as the old comment battle on Dig or uploading videos and shows like this, I just needed to step back and watch for a while. And I'm still the Skeptic Conservative. The show has not changed. I'm still a little upset with the Republican Party. However, times have changed and the world has gotten a lot more interesting in light of recent events. So the other, probably the biggest reason why I paused the show, actually there's two. One was discourse online and in a lot of the places that I was following was getting very negative, and I didn't think was getting really productive. I was kind of stuck and wondering, what am I accomplishing with this? It's not that I thought talking with you guys was worthless. It's that, it kind of felt like we were doing a lot of talking, analyzing and stuff, and then what was the next step? I just needed to take a step away from a lot of the negativity that surrounded online debate, which unfortunately has only gotten worse with time, and that's just how things are these days. The other thing was cost, and how impossible basically it was going to be to attempt to make money with the show in a way that would break even. So what did I do? I decided to knuckle down, improve myself, get a better job, and put myself in a position where I could maintain my independence, because the independence of the show is probably one of the most important things about it. You know, as some of you may know, I tried a partnership with a group, and it didn't go well. I mean, we did do some good work together, but ultimately it was better for us to part ways. And, you know, here we are. I don't really want to monetize things right now, you know, definitely not for a while. So I'm not even going to try. So, you know, no YouTube AdSense. I'm going to try to make sure monetizing is turned off completely, although YouTube is going to do its YouTube thing like it always has. But the show is better when it's lightweight and when I'm not concerned about the support stuff behind the show. Because you're here for the content, you're not here for a flashy intro or music or any of that stuff. We're just here to talk about events of the day and talk about ideas and all that jazz. Maybe later on things will change, but for now, we're just going to keep the show simple, short, sweet. Well, maybe not short, but you have to excuse me. Kitty's in the room, and he's kind of making a bit of a fuss because he's bored. Yes, I'm working from home, and we're on lunch break at the moment. But yeah, it was the time burn. Not sure if I was making the best use of the time. Not sure if I was putting out the best content, and concerns about monetization. I need to rethink any kind of monetization strategy. Because, I mean, even back then, back in 2012, 2013, the writing was on the wall that going independent as a show and trying to make money the old-fashioned way with sponsorships and ad revenue was simply not going to work unless you got really lucky and was essentially blessed by God to succeed. And you know what? I'm kind of fine with that because knuckling down and treating this like a hobby where there's a lot less pressure, I think will ultimately be better. If things work out, great. If not, that's also great because, again, what are we here for? We're here to discuss events of the day, talk about ideas, and try and figure out, you know, everything that's going on and get a little more educated about news and why we think the things we do and philosophy. So, again, I'm really sorry that it took me 8 years and that we didn't get to struggle through 2016 election cycle together, but I'm here now. I'm going to try to be back here more often. Not really going to commit to a schedule just yet, but here it is. You've probably noticed that the YouTube channel looks like it's empty. Don't worry, I've not deleted everything. I haven't really deleted anything, really. It's just YouTube, and again, this is another thing that was kind of clear back in 2013. YouTube's really clamped down on things, and it's targeted a certain side of the fence for, you know, more scrutiny, while letting another side of the equation go basically, you know, where they can do almost whatever they want. And in general, YouTube is not really what it used to be. It's becoming more of, you know, corporate tube, where they focus these days seems to be on making YouTube an attractive place for cable TV to upload their shows. And unfortunately, a viable competitor to YouTube hasn't really come up in the past while, which is too bad. I'm hoping that it will, especially with recent events and YouTube cracking down more and more, but you know, it's pretty clear that conservative talk and, frankly, any kind of honest, open political conversation, the future of that is not here on YouTube. It's going to be somewhere else. We don't really know what that looks like right now, but we just have to make do with what we have the best we can for now, and that's fine. So I kind of was me a little too much, and I overthought things. It's kind of hard to avoid overthinking things, especially on big stuff like, you know, the YouTube channel, this podcast, the show, which I sunk a lot of time into. But I've done a few things where I'm trying to protect myself and, you know, you. It just didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to. For example, when I set the entire archive to private, I didn't realize that in 2016, YouTube changed their rules in such a way that it deleted all comments on private videos. Even if they weren't, you know, initially uploaded as private, if they were originally public and then turned private, doesn't matter. If you triggered a video private, all comments gone. And unfortunately, YouTube did not make that clear when I did that. Now, why did I make all my videos private? That was because copyright guidelines, the what's it called, the law for kid-friendly content, all the advertiser stuff. And I think I had at one point 20 videos with various kinds of copyright claims. Now we're down to around 5. about a year ago, there was a wave of aggressive, frivolous copyright claims from groups claiming to represent studios for content that they did not actually own. And I had to fight those. Even though the channel was pretty much on pause, I was still doing my best to protect my content because I didn't want anything to get taken down. Because the channel, before this, it represents 5 years of work. And after I went and downloaded the entire archive, because yes, I did that, 18.7 gigs of video footage. And I don't want to throw that away. Because of how YouTube works, it would take just 3 copyright strikes for the channel to get taken down without any ability for recourse or the channel getting deleted. And it's when you've sunk that much time into something that you really loved and enjoyed, it's very intimidating. So what did I do? I sat down and downloaded every single video, and my plan was to capture the comments along with the videos. So I was kind of upset and very disappointed when I discovered that because of how I went about things, YouTube deleted the entire comment history of the channel, which is unfortunate, but that's in the past. That can't be changed. And it's unfortunate that YouTube's kind of taken the route with publishing and content where it's less friendly to small creators, and they're overdoing being advertiser friendly, advertiser safe, being this corporate sanitized version of what it used to be, because this isn't what YouTube's supposed to be. It's YouTube. It's supposed to be about you getting out there with your passion and your hobby, not for Comedy Central or CNN or all that stuff to get promoted and pushed to the top of the pile and essentially begin do the slow slide into we're just TV but on the internet. So oh well, hopefully somebody new comes along. So and again, folks, a little sorry for the roughness of this. I'm trying to keep things light touch, and it was important that I make just this quick little update to get back in touch with you and let you know that here I am, not dead. I know it's been almost 8 years, but I want to get back into things, and a lot of things are going on right now that I think are worth talking about. And what are we going to do with that? Well, it just mainly depends on you. I'm not here to start a movement or anything, but I do think in strange, different, scary times like these, it's important to do your best to stay informed. And as the name of the show has been from the beginning, be skeptical. That doesn't mean question everything to the point of being, pedantic or a jerk about it, but, research things on your own, double check things, and don't trust anybody out there who is coming at you strongly with passion and has a history of coming out there with passion and chasing down stories that turn out to be rumors and so on and so forth. Confirm things for yourself as much as possible. And, this is a really scary, uncertain time, but we're not going to get into it too deep right now, but I do think that we get through this. This is a difficulty that as a country and as a globe, because the international audience has always been there, we are going to pull through this, but the world is going to change. I'm not saying that to be alarmist or to scare people or to sensationalize things, but the world is going to change, and in a lot of ways that's going to be a good thing. But there's a lot of pain that has taken place. There has been death, and change never comes easy, and it's how you respond to the change that really matters. And we're not going to make light of this too much. A little bit of laughing is fine, but we don't want to be flippant about it either. Acknowledge what's going on, study it, get your best picture on it, and then figure out how you're going to move ahead and how you're going to adapt to the new world that's coming along. So we'll get into that next time we talk to each other. Probably Thursday, maybe Friday, we'll see. But for the time being, it's good to be back. I'm not sure how much reach this is going to get, but that's fine. Again, this is mainly aimed at the 150 or so subscribers that I still have, and thanks guys for sticking around that long. I know it's been a very long time, and I've probably been sitting on your feed for forever, but it is what it is, and we'll kind of see where this takes us, because this is an adventure we're all going along together, and it's going to be a wild ride. And I like that ancient Chinese proverb, may you live in interesting times. It's both a blessing and a curse. And again, I can't stress this enough. We're going to get through this. The world is going to be different, but there's a lot of potential for good things to happen and for us, everybody to have a chance to grow. And, the best comparison I can make for something that I can remember is it's both similar to and not similar to the degree of change that September 11th brought about. It's not really fair to compare this pandemic outbreak to September 11th in any way, except for it felt like we were crossing a milestone. Because September 10th was a completely different world than September 12th. And the bulk of that change, it was a switch going off. It happened almost instantly. And then everything began clarifying itself over this, the ensuing months. With this is the kind of change that is slow, agonizing, is happening in phases, and it's going to be hard to really know everything for a while. And we're in a world and society that expects things to be quick, that wants things to be in short, neat little packages. And, if some burst of drama has happened, it'll clear itself up on Twitter within hours. This is not that. This is not that at all. So we have to be patient and study and just kind of take things as we go and try to help each other get through this. And there's a lot of inflamed passions out there too, which is completely understandable. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up, and I'll try to have a more full, complete show out sometime this week. Probably not via the record live feature, since that just crashed and burned spectacularly. We'll see. I need some time to kind of play around and figure it out, because YouTube really has changed a lot. And at least how the background mechanics work. SkepticConservative.com is still up. There's really not much there except the old archive. I'm not sure when or if I'm going to be going back to Blog Talk Radio, because it just hasn't really seemed to mature much as a platform, and I don't really know how many people are actually using it regularly. So, this is going to be a period of discovery. I had to figure out, what kind of show is going to be, what format works. I'm really not used to Facecam, because Facecam was kind of like a add-on extra for the live streams, so I wasn't really talking to a camera as much, except for rare occasions like the announcement videos that I hate so much. But it's a different world. Things and trends and stuff have evolved over the last 8 years, but main thing is I need to figure out what works best for me and what can be a good way for us to, once again, dip into current events and have a good conversation with each other. So thanks for tuning in. If you stuck out through the end, stick around. You're probably already subscribed. If you're a new viewer, I'm sure you have no clue what the hell's going on, and that's fine. And I'll see you on the next one. So take care of yourself, and God bless.